When I first got into financial advising, I'm sure I got into it the same way nearly every other financial advisor did. I got recruited. Somebody came along and said, look, I can promise you a future of freedom. You sell now and get paid later. And if you work hard, that's actually kind of how it works. But the problem is that this job is just too remarkably boring to do it without some deeper why. You know, day after day of asking clients, what's your investment risk, and how much room is left in your RSP, and do you have a brother or a sister or a parent who was diagnosed with diabetes or heart disease before the age of 60? Like, honestly, this is far, far too boring to do day after day without some deeper purpose or why. And for me, that purpose came actually after I came into the industry. It was after years of having conversations with clients and recognizing that their story was a lot like my dad's. My dad came from Eastern Canada in the early 70s. He came out west to pursue the dream of being an entrepreneur. And when he got here, it actually went pretty good at the beginning. He got married, he started a business, he had 3 kids. Unfortunately, the heart of his dream landed directly in the center of the high interest rates of the late 80s. And before the dream could really take off, he was forced to declare bankruptcy. I can still remember seeing that real estate agent in our dining room as my parents were forced to list their very first owned home. It was devastating for them. And that wasn't the worst of it. His health problems piled on top of his financial ones, and by the time he was probably about 55, he had had 2 heart attacks and open heart surgery. And even though my dad had some very difficult financial and health problems, the hardest thing I saw my dad face was when he learned that his life insurance had been canceled due to non-payment. It was the one last piece of financial security that he was hoping to leave to mom, and it was gone. And he wasn't insurable. And my dad died within 5 years of that policy being canceled. Now, do I get up every day and say to myself, I'm doing this job for dad? No, I don't. But I can't help but think that my dad was only a few pieces of financial advice away from actually having a very different story. Maybe advice around emergency savings or setting up a personal health plan or critical illness insurance, or even getting a call from his advisor to say your life insurance payment is missed. So this is why I do what I do now. I want to help people drop their dreams and put together a plan to get there. I want to help people have mechanisms to mitigate the risk that just come with everyday life. I want to help business owners to put together disability and health plans that really take care of their employees and offer them something that maybe otherwise they couldn't afford or even be qualified for. I didn't know that this was my why, but now that I do, it makes this job significantly more meaningful. People don't always know what they don't know, and sometimes they just need a bit of advice, a bit of direction, a bit of planning. It can really change a person's life and future.